John Lynch spoke today at the NFL Combine. We all watched it. Let's give our instant reaction. But before we give our broad take, let's just go through the news that came out, if there was
I think since this was on News Hook today and we got it late and maybe people didn't see the press conference, why don't you delineate if there was any breaking news and what it was?
Okay, so first with Brock Purdy, he's going to meet up again with a surgeon at the end of the week to see if his elbow the swelling has gone down, and if it has, they're going to try to do surgery next week. So still, that's not really an update, but that's what's up next for Brock Purdy. Lynch also said the Niners are in the market for a quarterback. He said that Jimmy Garoppolo isn't coming back. He said that he looks out his window and sees Trey Lance taking drops and throwing, but that he's not 100% healthy yet. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Iggy, when I missed the first minute or two of his presser, he said they're in the market for another quarterback. Did he mean a number 3 quarterback or a number 1 quarterback?
I think he meant more of a backup. He said he has to look into the quarterback market, do his due diligence. Doesn't mean they'll even sign one, but he said, given that there's uncertainty with their own guys, they kind of have to look into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I give you my take on his press conference?
Please do.
And this is more of a criticism of the media than of him. He was entirely too comfortable.
Right.
He was joking around. He was talking about all the coaches who had left, and every one of them was among the greatest people who've ever lived since Moses and Jesus Christ, and he wishes them well, and all of that. Had I been in that news, you would have thought they won the Super Bowl. He was so happy and so relaxed. Had I been in that room, I would have asked 2 questions. Who is your starting quarterback next season? You got to ask that question. If it makes him uncomfortable, I'm not there to be his friend. I got friends. Mm-hmm. And he could have handled it many ways. If he's a mensch, he would appreciate the question. He would say, we have 2 really good starting quarterbacks. We're not clear on the status of either one of them. Please bear with me. To which I would have said, the season isn't that far away. You need to have a plan. What's your plan? Especially if neither of them is ready. What's your plan? That's your follow-up question. He has to have a plan, and if he doesn't, he looks like a schmuck.
Yeah, because if you don't ask the question, he doesn't give a quote, and then his plan is implied. You don't even know what his plan is. Because right now, since they didn't ask the question, he didn't have to really say it. It sounds like the plan is hope and pray that Brock Purdy comes back soon enough.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
So
say that. Say that on the record, John. Say that on the record. Brock will be back week 2 or something. We'll be fine. Say that.
Yeah. That would be news. Or I don't have the slightest idea. That would be news too.
Yeah.
The point is,
I asked Kyle Shanahan that question at the end of the season press conference, and he said, honestly, I haven't thought about it.
Well, that's bullshit.
Well, we're 2 months later. Maybe John Lynch has spent a few minutes thinking about it.
When Kyle says I haven't thought, honestly, when they always say honestly, it's
honestly.
not a truth.
Honestly.
But he's never thought about it? Sure. Right. Why would you think about something like that?
It's not important.
It's not important. So what you got to do is ask him, who is your starting quarterback, and then have a series of questions from that. What are you going to do if? What are you going to do if? What is your contingency plan? All of that. Because allegedly this team is ready to go, ready to go all the way, except for a quarterback. So it's kind of a relevant question.
And are you really ready to go all the way if you don't know who your quarterback is? I would say no.
I would say no.
And I would say no.
That could be a question. Are you ready to go all the way if you don't know who your starting quarterback is? You're not there to make friends with John Lynch. You're there to ask. And look, where does this combine take place, Iggy?
Indianapolis.
Okay, that's pretty far away. So local outlets flew reporters there not to ask that question?
Yes.
And to be friends with John Lynch?
Can you imagine how many thousands of dollars were invested by these companies to have that question not get asked?
That's right, to have that question.
Right.
And
so John Lynch would be a little bit more comfortable. Sorry.
I'm not in the business. I like John Lynch. I'm not in the business of making him comfortable. His friends and his wife can make him comfortable.
You're in the business of doing business.
I'm in the business of doing business.
Yeah.
My second question, John, you've talked about all the wonderful things and how pleased you are with the jobs that your coaches have gotten and all this. What's your primary weakness on the 49ers, and what are you going to do about it? Identify your weakness for us right now. What is your plan?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You got to ask
And again,
the question.
this isn't Kyle Shanahan. He's not going to give you the stank eye and give you a bunch of attitude and make you feel stupid. It's John Lynch. He's going to give you, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I've been thinking about. Ask John, what are you afraid of? It's John Lynch. He's a media guy himself.
Right.
Come on.
And he's probably more intelligent than you are, and he can handle it.
He's prepared. He probably walked off that stage being like, wow, they didn't ask me about that? That's amazing.
That's right.
That's amazing.
He probably thought,
Yeah.
these guys are really soft. What a bunch
Wow.
of softies. You
Pretty
got to
much.
ask him, what's your primary weakness and what are you going to do about it? And if he didn't say the right side of our offensive line, we need to upgrade, I would ask him, well, what about the right side of your offensive line? I mean, you try to get him in, maneuver him. It's like in boxing, you try to get the guy in the corner.
Yeah.
So you can deliver the left, right. You get him in the corner. You ask him your questions, your left and your
Boom.
right, quarterback and weakness. That's why you're there, not to say, oh, what about D'Amico? Who gives a shit about D'Amico? He's history. He's gone. Oh, he's one of the nicest. He had presence when he comes into a room. And what he's doing then, he's treading water. He's thinking, this is
Filibustering.
easy.
I'm killing time. I'm killing time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, go ahead.
I want to say one other thing, Iggy. You say if you ask questions of that nature to Kyle, he gives you the stank eye. It would make me want to ask 10 questions like that.
That's right. That's right. But I'm just saying, not all these writers, these are West Coast writers, okay? They're not like you. They're not looking for a fight. But with John, there's no fight, there's no pushback. Like it's a green light. It's a green light. All I want to say is real quick, when you get John Lynch in the corner, what does he do? He starts touching his ear. He starts touching his ear, starts touching his face. No, he wasn't touching his ear or face at all today. Got to get him touching his face. Got to get him touching his. That's your job as a reporter. Get him touching his face.
Yeah, it was a
Come on.
non-toucher.
Non-toucher. He was too. He was like, he had his shirt unbuttoned. He's sitting there like, hey, what's up, Dave? What's up? Like, come on, get out of here. Throwing out nicknames up there. Get out of here.
He was throwing out nicknames?
He was throwing out nicknames. Come on.
Who did he call?
Dave.
Who's Dave?
I don't know.
He knows Dave, but you don't
He
even
knows
know
Dave. I don't even know Dave.
So
Anyway.
he's comfortable.
There was more, though.
Yeah.
The thing about Trey Lance looking out the window, anytime John Lynch talks about looking out his window, to me, it's a kiss of death. He said it 3 times, and I counted because it's a ridiculous thing to say. Talk about looking out your window. He said it about D Ford when they were asking, is D Ford coming back and making progress? He's like, oh, yeah. D Ford, every day. Out, he's attacking it, and I see him. He like never played again. Then last year with Kinlaw, we know what happened there, and now with Trey Lance. Oh, yeah, I see him out there taking drops, throwing passes. No, he's not 100%. And I know I haven't seen a limp per se, but I'm really encouraged. Like, you haven't seen a limp, so there could be a limp, but you just choose to not, or you just may not. Like, that wasn't great. The window, the office window.
Well, we got to talk about that. We'll call it a room with a view.
Oh, man.
A room with a view. When he
Yeah.
invokes the room with a view, you know there's a potential problem.
Because he's always trying to say the best thing possible. If he could have said, man, he's ahead of schedule, the doctors think he's great, he's tearing it up, he would have said that. The best thing he could say is, well, I see him. I mean, he's like 100 yards away, but I'm up here and I glance and it looks good to me. From a very far away, he looks great. He's like a Monet. You get too close, it's not so good, but you just stand like 100 yards away, he's looking great.
And it's through double pane glass.
Tinted.
Right?
Yeah.
Tinted double pane glass.
Tinted. Yeah.
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 So my main takeaway from that press conference was entirely too comfortable.
Yeah, we could have actually learned something, but actually there was very little news that came from that. Very little.
Because of the nature of the questions.
Yeah.
What about
Brock
D'Amico?
isn't ready. Trey isn't ready. Brock isn't ready. We knew that already. Jimmy's not coming back. We knew that already. I mean,
No, but he really
market,
likes Jimmy. Here's the thing. Jimmy's not coming back, but, you know, he has such utter respect for Jimmy. And that's, you know, so
tough. So tough.
so tough. So in my article, all right, they dumped his ass, but he has utter respect for him.
Also, they really like the person Trey Lance is. Great guy. The character is just off the charts. Now, can he play quarterback? They don't know. But the guy, He was the first person to congratulate Brock Purdy when he came off the field. He was the first.
Yeah, that stuff, it's like you want to vomit, right?
It's like that's all you can say?
That Brock would consult with.
Oh,
that
yeah.
He was so selfless that he didn't worry about his own job. He really wanted to help Brock. First of all, I'm not sure if that's true. Second of all, who cares?
Who cares? It's a results business. Yeah.
Who's your quarterback?
Yeah.
I know. Iggy and Lowell are haters. I should have been in there and saying, John, you guys are doing a fabulous job. For a team that never gets to the Super Bowl, you're the best team I've ever seen. Oh, I know you get to the Super Bowl, but you lose. So if you're a team who can't close the deal, I've never seen a team this good, and I really want to congratulate you.
The way that the media treats the Niners, this group, is that no, they haven't won a Super Bowl technically. But other than the Chiefs, the Niners have had the most sustained success over the past 4 years, and that's worth something, and they're going to win a Super Bowl inevitably, so let's just treat them like NFL royalty. That's how they get treated.
Whoa.
It's a new kind of coverage.
I can see why they hate your guts, because you actually ask relevant questions.
And you're saying, your theory is that Niner fans are mad at us for calling it. My theory is that Niner fans are frustrated that they just watched a 15-minute interview and learned nothing.
I'm frustrated that the Chronicle, if they sent Eric Branch, or the Merc, if they sent somebody, that's what they got? I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry. You're a very good reporter. I didn't mean that. And maybe you asked a good question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't hear who was asking what. I should have went. I've never gone to the combine.
Should have gone. I should have gone.
I should have went. I should have gone. Next year I'll go. It just always felt like, a lot of money, a long schlep for one 15-minute interview. But
no,
if that's what's going to happen, I got to go.
I don't think you should have gone.
I mean, they don't even have a pick in the top 98. I got to watch these people run around in underwear? No,
I don't think you should have gone.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Ryan Hensley, co-host of the Monday Morning Show, says, it seems to me that John Lynch is passive-aggressive when talking Trey Lance. Do you guys agree?
I'm not sure, Ryan, what you mean by passive-aggressive. Does that mean he's a Californian? Because most of them are passive-aggressive.
He is from San Diego. What I think with John Lynch is he's trying to find nice things to say, but from Lynch's perspective, there's not a lot he can point to, which is straight. I mean, he looks good out of the window 100 yards away. He's a nice guy. He helped Brock. Sounds like he's talking about the backup quarterback, doesn't he?
It sounds like he doesn't have a clue, and he's trying to just fill in words.
Doesn't have a clue.
When I was in news conferences like that, Iggy, and people were just doing stuff, I considered it that I died for 15 seconds. Death in life. I had to endure this. I died for 15 seconds.
Death in life. He did say that, Trey Lance needs to stay healthy and that Lynch was hurt a lot early in his career, and then he went 8 years without missing a snap. So, again, he's putting it on Trey. Trey just has to get some good luck, or he has to – that's it. It's something the Niners need to do. It's on Trey. So, we'll see.
Yeah, because it's his fault that he broke his leg. I mean, what a wuss that he broke his leg.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking, Trey?
In the words of Mariucci, he needs to healthy up.
He needs to healthy up.
We need to healthy up.
Corey Soto says they're stepping back from the Brock Purdy timeline they put out to the media. 1. 2, why does this organization act as if Trey has done something to them? You chose him and have botched the process from the beginning. Okay, so the first thing, yeah, they were really confident about this Brock Purdy timeline, and now they're like basically, yeah, well, we'll see. Well, it's a wait and see. Let's push it back 2 weeks. It's kind of like right now I'm waiting to get I had a subwoofer. It had a warranty. It broke. I sent it in, and every time I call, they're like, yeah, not yet. So I don't know. It was supposed to be 4 weeks, but it could be 6 months. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good analogy. 49ers Daddy says, why do the Niners blame Trey for his injury? Telling you, man, Niner fans aren't happy with these answers. Because why would they blame themselves?
Right.
Why would you take any responsibility? Citybird says, what percentage of beat writers, insiders grew up fans of the team they covered? Just your opinion, not looking for a scientific answer or anything.
I don't think these people were fans.
A lot of these people come from out of town.
Yeah, let me say this. I know the group that covers the Niners. I think they are legitimate journalists. They do not root for or against the 49ers. I know all of them. They're really good. I wish they had asked harder questions. I don't understand why they didn't. But they do not root for the team. They did not grow up rooting for the team, and they're totally legit.
City Burt says chances for a Matty Ice Kyle reunion. Matty Ice.
Oh,
well, we're going to
talk
talk
about that a little later.
We will. We
Matty
certainly
Ice.
will. Matty Ice. Grant, we need you to cover the underwear Olympics next year.
What's
Okay,
that?
I will. The combine.
Oh.
Anything else you want to say about this press conference before we move on? I think we're done.
Just that I was totally disappointed in it. And maybe I want to say something else. Had I been there, I would have asked two pointed questions, which would have really actually gotten responses, I hope, and news. The idea that he was so comfortable the whole time troubles me. He shouldn't have been that comfortable because he, like any executive, has certain things to answer for. Even Andy Reid has things to answer for.
Absolutely. Stop covering this team like they're champions, like they just came off a perfect season.